Let's bring in our next guest, Billy, local photographer Howard Watkins. Hello, Howard. How are you? Nice to see you, pal.
Likewise.
How long have you been around Fresno?
Moved here in '73, so a little over 40 years.
Why'd you come to Fresno?
Job.
Yeah, where were you from?
Bay Area.
What part?
Berkeley and San Francisco.
Okay.
I went to college and law school.
What kind of job would get you to leave Berkeley and San Francisco to come to Fresno in 1973?
Attorney with local legal services program, representing low-income people. And my wife had gotten her teaching credential at the same time, so she got a job with Fresno Unified. So my parents lived in L.A., and her mom lived in the Bay Area, and her dad they're divorced, lived near Reno. So we're right in the middle for everybody.
All right. So it worked out for you.
Yeah, we hadn't planned to stay here, but 2 years later we bought a house.
That's how it happens,
yes.
You know. Yeah.
It grows on you.
So you come here to be, you were an attorney?
Right.
Okay, and when did it turn to where you were not an attorney and you were a photographer, or was it crossed over?
Well, I retired from active lawyering in 2007 to work on my photo archive project. I have the largest collection personally held by somebody of photos of people, places, and events in Fresno over the last 40 years.
Whoa, hold on now. The largest collection of anybody?
With the breadth. There are photographers that have taken more photos. Professionals that do weddings, they may have a billion photos.
I understand.
But I've done parades, lunches, dinners, weddings, political officials, business leaders,
and
sports.
You're talking about just here in the valley?
Right. I've done some beyond, but it's primarily the Fresno Clovis area. It's such a broad collection that both the Board of Supervisors and recently the Fresno City Council and Mayor Swearingen declared that I'm the photo laureate of Fresno.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you, sir. Okay.
And important, what my project is about is to make my photos available free to the public online. So I partnered with the Madden Library. So the first 30 years, when they're indexed, would be available through their website.
Now?
Not yet. It's going to take a few years.
Okay.
I mean, it's 50 to 100,000 photos to index. But the beauty of their system is once they're indexed, you can search by name, organization, date, or whatever data I put in.
No kidding.
And then from 2004 to present, I would expand my current website, which covers right now, September of '07 to present, 135,000 photos, 3,500 albums.
Wow.
And those are free right now to download an individual picture. Yeah.
No kidding. Well, you know what? I'm so interested in this right now. I want to jump right into these pictures. And the first one we have here, soon to be back in the White House, Bill Clinton. Right? Is that at Daly?
Yes, that's
Daly
Elementary School.
Right, I remember that.
And then President Bush over at Ruiz Food Processing Plant in Dinuba.
Okay. All right, that's a great. This one we have here somewhere around the office. Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Where was he?
This was at an anti-war rally in 1967 in Los Angeles, awesome. And he was signing autographs. I got to go up, take the photo, and he's probably the most recognizable person I have a photo of worldwide. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, here's Audra McDonald.
Oh,
She was in Fresno. She's a true treasure.
She certainly is. What a beautiful woman.
Then I also, because of my length of my photography, there's a lot of icons of Fresno that are no longer with us. Here's Reverend G.L. Johnson, former with People's Church at the Promise Keepers
event
at Bulldog Stadium. Right.
Wow.
Veterans, this is the statuary at Clovis Memorial Building. It is the most beautiful tribute I've seen to our veterans. Yeah.
Ever.
And here is the Veterans Administration's Wall of Honor. I was there for the dedication ceremony.
Dinuba?
No, a VA hospital.
Okay, so that was the traveling one.
This is the permanent one.
Okay.
In front of the Veterans Administration Hospital. I'm also, as an attorney, I'm the official photographer for the Bar Association and probably 100 other organizations. But I was selected to be the photographer when they dedicated the federal courthouse. And on the left there standing is Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy. Mm-hmm. He was the keynote speaker for that event.
Wowee. I like this one.
This is my most historic photo I've ever taken. It was taken in 2007. The women pictured are Presiding Judge Hillary Chittick, Superior Court, then the District Attorney Beth Egan, Sheriff Margaret Mims, and Chief Probation Officer Linda Pinner. And I wanted this photo because it documented the first time in California history that 4 women held these court-related positions.
All at the same time.
At the same time. And I'm thinking it's quite likely it's the first time in America, but I don't have the ability to check every county and jurisdiction for that.
Okay. The next one here, pretty cool.
That's the Fresno State Men's Championship Baseball Team, 2008. And when I was there, I'm thinking Fresno State doesn't take team photos on their home field. So Paul Loffer was the MC, the team announcer. When he sat down for Coach Baseball to speak, I went over and took a nice picture of Paul with his daughter, but I asked him, is there a team photo plan? He said, no. Can we do one afterwards? Oh, yeah, good idea. So at the end of the program, he says, thank you. I want to thank everybody for being here. Now, one of the photographers wants to have all the team members and coaches for a group photo. Mm-hmm. So I took the photo. Now, standing next to me was the Fresno State's professional photographer, but they didn't ask for a team photo.
You're kidding.
No, it kind of blew me away, but that's the way so one of my trademarks now is taking large group photos, and I've done hundreds of those.
Well, we'll have Kobe here later. He does a lot of that himself.
He's very familiar with my project. Right. Then for some of the historic parades, this is the Sun-made trolley car that was in the county's 150th anniversary sesquicentennial parade.
Where is that? Is that trolley still around?
Yeah, I think so. I assume it's the Sun-made facility in Kingsburg. I don't know where they keep it, but it was great having it. The city's centennial parade back in '85, and that's Ted Wills there in the red outfit and Rod Anaforian next to him. And for the Clovis Rodeo, last year they celebrated their centennial, so this is the Clovis North Marching Band in the centennial parade for the Clovis Rodeo.
Ooh, now are we getting into some landscape shots?
Here's one of them. This is Yosemite in winter. I was up there for the weekend with my family, so I got up 8 o'clock, went out and walked. You know, I wish we had more snow like that, but that's it. One of the things I really liked about that photo is there's a cloud right in the middle of the valley. Not too often to be seen.
Now, the next one. This one I've seen around.
Yes.
I've seen this in a few different places around town. Pretty popular, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I'd love to have one of these.
Well, we can take care of that for you. This is an aerial photo of downtown Fresno.
Awesome.
And I joked that I was on a giant pogo stick. That's how I got so high. But it was a connecting flight from Fresno to L.A., and when I fly during the day, I try to get a window seat with the camera on the lap. If the wing's not in the way, I can usually get some aerial photos. This plane flew so close to downtown, the closest I've ever been to downtown, that my wide-angle lens couldn't get all of downtown. You'll notice in the photo, on the left, it's the federal courthouse and Amtrak, but I couldn't get Soroyan or Selin in there, and it goes all the way across over to Warner's Theater and the Grand.
It's just a beautiful shot, and the freeway just is perfectly shot in it also.
That's the connector from southbound 41 to eastbound 180. The other thing that's remarkable about that photo, which for us urban folks we don't appreciate, all that ag land was within a couple miles of downtown. That starts.
Okay, well that leads me to a good question. What year was that taken?
2011, August 2011.
So not that long ago.
No.
Wow.
And one of the main reason I retired from active lawyering in '07 is at that point I'd taken 150,000 photos. Well, I need to index them. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Fresno. I've done up to 10 different events on my own time in one day.
I'm sure.
Usually it's one or two.
That's what irks me when people say there's never anything to do here. It's just there's always something going on.
If you're not looking, you won't find it.
Right.
I mean, but it's between the art venues and the nightclub stuff, but lectures, meetings, parades, awards programs, plays, schools. I mean, my daughter went to Roosevelt School of the Arts, so there's a lot of excellent drama there, but almost all the high schools especially, have good drama programs.
Right.
And if you don't want to spend $100 or $200 for a ticket in New York City, these aren't quite that same level, obviously, but they still do a really good job.
That's still a great thing to take the young kids to, I think. And not that they'd know any difference, but just a great thing to open them up to.
It is.
What else do you like to do besides taking pictures, Howard?
Well, I used to call photography a hobby, and then somebody said it's an obsession, because when you take 10 or 15,000 photos a year on your own time, not as a professional. Like Pop Laval, who was deemed the first photo laureate, I'm the second, I'm honored by that comparison. He was a paid, hired photographer, so he could do that all day, but I'm also in awe of his work, because he's lugging around 100 pounds worth of camera equipment. None
Using
of this
film.
Yeah, or glass slides.
Right.
Not having any of this automatic setting like I have in my Nikon camera.
Or digital, where you can take many, many pictures.
And then
it
go
doesn't
back
matter.
to his darkroom and develop and stuff. So I could shoot 400 photos in an hour, get them developed locally, and they're ready. You know, that's a 2 or 3 day project for him.
Right.
But those are the real iconic photos of Old Fresno. And I was inspired by his work. It's a real part of history. So anyway, in terms of other hobbies, is family genealogy. And I'm not working on that as much because of the photography work. I really need to get the indexing, and I have to fundraise the money. It costs, the library estimates total of about $200,000 because there's
a lot of it's just labor.
It's not for my time, but for their staff time. But we're talking about potentially uploading 10 terabytes of photos. That's a lot of photos. And they have to store it off-site because it's a lot cheaper than using the university server. And there's fee agreements with the indexing system and some other stuff.
And even with all this cost, you're still putting them out there for free.
Yeah. That's the way I can give back to the community, but I do need help. And I've partnered with the Fresno Regional Foundation, so donations made to the foundation, but with a little memo note on the check of Watkins Photo Project, that makes it tax deductible to the donor. And whether it's $10, $50, $100, $500, whatever it is, all that adds up. And in the last 3 months, I've raised about $50,000 in donations and pledges. And a lot of that's because a lot of people know about my work. And they're supportive of it, and you give what you can give.
Awesome. You know what? I've known you for a little while. I haven't ever been able to sit down and talk with you, but I feel like I could sit down and talk with you all day long. Howard Watkins, thank you for everything you do for Fresno.
Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate
your website?
My personal website is watkinsphotoarchive.com. You can also Google Howard K. Watkins Photo, and that website will pop up. And you go to photographs. That's a personal website, so I have genealogy and other stuff on it. But if you go to photographs, then you can go by year, by month and year, search for a keyword that might be in the title. It's not indexed by person. And if you have a date of an event, that's the quickest way.
Awesome. Okay, Howard Watkins, check him out on the web and look at all his great photos of Fresno. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, live music from Roger Perry. Stick around. All right.